Our concussion special continues as we are in Nepean at the Superdome here, Ben Franklin Park, and we're talking about football specifically now, as this seems to be a hot topic. Of course, the settlement that the NFL made for $765 million yesterday to former players, playing top of mind in news and, of course, in the football world. But Football Canada was ahead of the curve on that in terms of making changes. Aaron Giesler is here with me, and technical coordinator for Football Canada. Good morning to you. Rob Hamm, part of Football Canada, and a coach at Ashbury as well. So applying it on the ground as well. Aaron, I want to start with you. I want to talk about some of the changes that have been made.
So in the past couple of years, we've really tried to make it a progress to make changes not only to how we teach tackling and blocking, but to the way we coach coaches to tackle and to teach tackling and blocking. So what we've done is we've introduced what we call safe contact, where we try to, as much as we can, take the head out of contact through a teaching progression that allows our athletes to do that while still being effective tacklers and blockers.
Okay. Rob, I want to get to it, and can we see some examples of this through action? We have Patrick, Thomas, and Jake here ready to give us an example, in fact.
Absolutely,
okay.
Jeff, let's get going.
Okay.
Okay, fellas, the first thing we want to do is I want you to show me the pre-contact position. It's the position we need to be in just as we make contact. Ready, and go. What we want to see is the head up, eyes up, a nice power arch in the back, bend in the knees and ankles. This is the position we need to be in before we make a tackle.
Now, Thomas is not in pads because we want you to be able to see the body a little bit better here. Okay, so from here.
We also want them not to be in pads because we can do all of the drills with or without equipment.
Is that right?
That's very important.
Okay.
And the other thing that's important is your equipment is done up properly. So Jake, could you do up your chin strap? Thank you very much. And do you want demonstration?
I would love to move through some of the differences from of yesteryear. You've been in football for 30 years, and now how much would you say it's changed?
Well, I guess the biggest thing for me is the head contact.
Okay.
When I played, coaches always talked about putting the screws of your helmet through someone's chest.
Wow.
So now what we talk about is sky the eyes and make contact with the front of the shoulder pad and the chest plate.
Can we see an example of that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we're going to get Patty up, and we're going to see what we call a shimmy tackle.
Okay.
Which we use the big bags. We don't want players getting hurt. It takes the fear of contact during drills out of it. Go ahead, Jake. Notice how before contact he breaks down.
Okay.
Notice the head was out of it. We can do the same drill now without equipment. Go ahead, Tom. And we're going to get Jake to take off his helmet so that doesn't hurt Thomas.
Right.
And here we were doing it without equipment. We used the hand shield. We could use the hand shield. That would be good.
Okay.
And away we go, Tom. Notice how the arms go through in a double uppercut motion.
Gotcha.
And we grab cloth and then run our feet.
So it's interesting to me that the contact seems still to be there. I mean, we haven't really taken speed out of the game, and I think a lot of people are very concerned about that.
Contact can be made at full speed using this method where no one gets hurt.
Okay.
We at Ashbury, we have a concussion protocol in place. Over the last 3 years since we've instituted a lot of these changes, we've had no concussions.
Aaron, football fans, parents, players alike, I think have some serious concerns about the game changing. We've seen some rule changes in the professional leagues. This year, I believe that running backs are no longer allowed to lead with the helmet, and I think a lot of people are very worried about football losing its essence. Do you think that that's a concern?
I think for coaches and for parents, especially for fans, there obviously is that concern. What we found from all the research and the film that we've watched is that the changes that are being made actually help create better football players, especially with the tackling and the blocking. Nowadays, you see a lot of guys leading with their head, and you see missed tackles. You see a lot of guys getting moved by running backs, and by running backs putting their heads down and falling to the ground. It actually creates better football players.
I would imagine, and this is just me throwing it out there, if I'm leading with my head, my eyes aren't on target.
Right, and with the running backs and how fast and how quick and how strong these guys are now, as soon as we put our head down, we lose any essence of what's going on.
Interesting. I'm going to talk to a couple of players here. Follow me along here. I want to talk to you, Thomas. You ever had a head hit that kind of gave you stars or anything like that?
No, I have not.
You have not, and is that? Do you think that's due to the new techniques?
Well, I've been playing football for quite a long
I don't
time.
like being the center of attention.
Over there.
It happens that way, but it's not what I like.
Make proper hits, make proper tackles. The safe contact definitely going to help that.
Okay, good. And Patrick, if you did get hit in the head, what would you do?
I would probably just immediately get myself off the field and probably just get myself checked out to make sure that nothing else is wrong.
All right, so you talk to your coach immediately. That's what it's about, right, gentlemen? The changing the culture of like, oh no, I'm fine, I got to get out on the field. Let's make sure you're fine and get you back out on the field, right?
One of the biggest things is to have a certified trainer, whether you're coaching whether you're in the community, whether you're at a high school, whatever level you play, get somebody with a certified trainer, take the coach out of the mix. And what we do is that we have a concussion protocol, a series of questions put together by Football Canada that any trainer can ask.
And what happens if I say yes to one of those questions?
You're out.
Really?
Until you see a medical professional.
Okay, and then allow them, the real professional, to assess.
Yeah, that's right. And it's not up to coaches to decide who plays and who doesn't after any kind of head injury, even if it's slight.
Gentlemen, we're looking at today, and we're getting a lot of information that may be frightening to parents, but it seems to me that you're making the game as safe as possible. No activity in the world is completely safe,
right?
But you're doing your very best.
Well, absolutely. And I think for us, our mandate is to do everything that we can to reduce the risk. And I think that it's working, and it is about changing the culture, and that's a slow progress, but I think we're doing a very good job, especially with the attention that it's receiving in the media, and I think it's working.
Football players turn out they're a little bit competitive, eh?
Very competitive. One of the things, Jeff, that parents can do is go to footballcanada.com. There's 2 videos up there on safe contact and safe blocking. There's also the concussion protocol, and one of the other things is there's the certification mandate. Parents need to question coaches who are not teaching how to block and tackle correctly. It's very important that they do that. Get your coaches certified.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for that great information. Making better football players through safety, that's what it's about.